It's At the Lake with Marion.
Hi guys. I want to talk to you about my rose bushes. I want you to look at this. I don't think you would have any idea how aggressively I pruned this rose bush not more than 4 weeks ago, which was basically in January. And I tell you, I pruned it in January in error. I did not, and this is not the only one. I have several rose bushes right here. And I pruned it in January, really cleaned them up because we had just gotten the property and my gardener, my neighbor, decided that he was going to help me out here by whacking, and I mean whacked. He whacked all these rose bushes, and I'm going to show you a whacked one because that was what prompted me or motivated me to really cut these down. I mean, when I tell you I was aggressive with them. So what do I mean by that? Let's look at another of these rose bushes that was not cleaned up so nicely. And look at the new growth on these. You see how scanty they are? They are, of course, catching on for the spring, but they are nowhere near the ones that I had really pruned. So for instance, something like this, all I did was to go over and cut these. I had not cleaned the basin of the rose bed, nor, if you see, you see there's some jagged edges are there. I was really upset, really angry that the bushes were whacked, but this has given me the opportunity to learn more about rose bushes because all of these were just whacked, and because of time and traveling, I was doing traveling at the time, I really did not have the time to prune them as I want. But look at the ones that are pruned. Look at the new growth on all the ones that I pruned. Look at that. Look at that. I honestly am so pleased. I cannot believe. Look at that. That's all new growth, new buds, new everything. All right. So, I mean, there's a lot of work in this yard to do, but I did not want to lose the opportunity to document these. So although I'm not doing a rose segment at all right now, I just wanted to kind of show, because I need to show some before and after. Look at these. Look at them. Right? They are magnificent. I mean, all of this is new growth. So I'm very proud of that. Maybe I won't get the opportunity until next year to actually prune again, to show you pruning. And by that time, I would have learned a whole lot more about rose bushes. Come on, Trixie. Right? So even, right? So look, I have a lot of rose bushes. All of these I was unable to really clean up. But what I did was to just cut them down. Just cut them down a little so that at least, you know, they were pruned. Okay? But next year, all of these guys will be heavily pruned because they're old vines and growth that will need to be taken up. So as you can see, I'm going by them. These are all rose bushes. This is a big, beautiful rose bush. I didn't get the chance to do her as aggressively as I wanted as well, but I did cut her down some. All right, and look, see, all of these are just rose bushes. All right, oh, just rose bushes, and I'll have to tend to them. I look forward to seeing what they'll become in the summer here. Okay, so it's been around a month since I showed that video. Now you can see the leaves are coming in and the plants are looking so much better. As I said, look at that. You see all those new growth leaves? When you see the leaves looking so purple, you know everything is new. And, incredibly, they are continuing to send out new leaf, new life. See that? Very, very, very new leaf. And I really do hope that we don't get a cold snap that would affect these plants in any way, because they are very delicate at this moment, but they are coming along very, very nicely. I have to tell you, I was very worried about my first pruning. I've never pruned roses before, rose bushes. I've never even really tried to grow them. I did get a rose bush once. It was a gift from my daughter on Mother's Day. It was a miniature rose plant, and she had started growing her own roses back home, and I was like, okay, maybe I would try to grow this one. So I kept it in the pot, and I tell you, within 2 weeks, that rose bush died. I was so disappointed with myself. And I was like, well, you know what? Maybe rose bushes aren't for me. But I tell you, I am in love with these wonderful plants. I have to thank the homeowner previous to me, who did all this wonderful job, because I could not have envisioned creating such a heaven here in this backyard. And her husband did a wonderful job. As a matter of fact, the rose bush that you're looking at now, the cold did affect them. Do you see that? Do you see how wilted those fresh growth are? As a matter of fact, those are some of the buds, and you can see they are completely damaged. That one, you see that very brown spot in there. You see how crumbled it looks. So we did get some damage from the cold ear, but for the most part, they survived, and they'll do better, because when I did the original pruning, it was in December. We've had quite a bit of cold weather since December, but they are looking good. They are resilient, but that one is damaged. For instance, that's a damaged rose that you just saw right there. However, they're going to do just fine. I am very happy at the result from my efforts. Very, 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 very happy. I could not have done better, but I will be doing it more. Look at this. Very interesting, guys. This is a disease that this plant has. All right. This rose bush has a small type of a disease that I am going to be researching a lot. What it does, it makes those leaves extremely immature. So they're immature small leaves. You see them? Immature small leaves. So what I will be doing first and foremost is to get rid of it from the plant. So I will be pruning that out. Now, I did prune this plant very late in the season, meaning it was after January, February, thereabouts, that I did that. But I am going to remove those branches and then see what happens. I only noticed that there are two plants in the entire of all the entire bushes that have that. So maybe it's an isolated case. I would hate for it to spread. And that's why it's very important to keep your tools cleaned. So what I do before I cut, I use 90% alcohol and clean my pruning. All in all, I'm very happy, and just want to say this. There are so many lessons that these rose bushes have reminded me about. They are so resilient, and so much happened to them. They were traumatized. They were literally hacked, chopped down.
But nonetheless, with some grooming, with some pruning, they have managed to come back and are coming back better. And I suppose that is what resonates with me, that makes me feel so filled to my brim with joy and satisfaction, is that although they were traumatized, although they were cut down, although they were damaged, they were able to spring right back up. And in life, you know, things are going to happen every day. Not every day will be your normal, average, routine, mundane activity where we wake up and we live. There are days that are going to be mixed up. There are days where it's going to be good. There are days where it's going to not be so good. And it's how you move forward after a bad experience and a bad day that gives you character that you are going to use to just push you to the next level. So just looking at that, look at that, damaged from a cold front that is out of our control. Who controls the weather? Not you, not me, just the universe and God. And oftentimes we actually need to remember that even if someone else does something to us, that what they do is out of our control. What they have done is out of our control. But what do we control? We control how we act about it, how we react to it, and how we move forward from it. So I would just like to say that these roses are pouring into me lessons that, yes, I already know, but oftentimes need to be reminded of as I am pouring into it my curiosity about them, my care for them. And I do look forward to seeing what they are going to be in their full bloom. Just as I look forward to seeing how I will become in my full bloom. You don't arrive, guys. You don't arrive. Life is a continuum, and you continue to live it and try to make the best of it every day. Every day, every tomorrow that you are fortunate to get is a tomorrow for you to do different, do better, be better, And if sometimes it's not your best day or you are not doing your best, you still have tomorrow to look forward to. So again, choose life every time you can. Choose life because it does matter. We do not know the future. We don't know the second after the right now. And because of that, I'm going to try my best to enjoy each second after the right now. That's all I have, the right now. And I'm going to start learning how to do it. So thank you for tuning in today. I hope you've enjoyed my introduction to my rose bushes. Obviously, it's the 2nd of April today. So we're going to be seeing a whole lot more about what they've become. So thanks again for joining me